Hello, everyone. This is a little update on today's full moon in the sign of Capricorn. And I also realized with my last podcast, I was so focused on Uranus that I got all distracted from talking about this today's full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which happened, about 2 hours ago. So I'm recording this at 8:45 a.m. in Australia, Southern Hemisphere. So about 2 hours ago, we had a peak lunation, and I would love to. It's really, I thought, wow, I need to talk about this because also, I want to talk about Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, because it's not just a full moon in Capricorn, it's also the planet Saturn, the ruler in the sign of Aries, is going retrograde on a retrograde journey, stationing tomorrow. So this is a big deal. It's and I'm just gonna have a look how long um Saturn is retrograde. It will be until around November sometime. And also, of course, Saturn will go back into the sign of Pisces, which is also, so we only just had a window, a window of, well, we're still in the window of Saturn in the sign of Aries, which is about claiming our own authority, claiming our righteousness, our truth, being self-responsible, the beauty of responsibility. And so as I'm moving around here, so we are looking at Mercury going retrograde until the 27th of November, where Saturn will be back in the sign of Pisces, 25 degrees, and revisiting. So we are starting a time of revisiting, going inwards. So what's today? This is really big because of this full moon being ruled by Saturn, and one day after tomorrow, Saturn going retrograde together, as we can see, with Neptune, pretty much at the same degree when Neptune is. And these are like, I feel like we're in times of polar opposites in many ways. And when I saying opposites, I feel that we're integrating Saturn, the boundary keeper, our embodiment, all things mundane, linearity, and also about responsibility. And then we're also integrating Neptunian energy, which is spirit, is our higher learning, our greater knowledge about ourselves, about the cosmos, about what is it that where do we want to go, revisiting our dreams, our visions. So this is a really, really potent time. So, on today's full moon in Capricorn, I would like to read out of my book called The Codex of the Soul by Verdeluz. And this is what Saturn says. I castrated my father Uranus as he destroyed his young, my siblings, the Titans. There was a prophecy that I too would be deposed by my own son, but I defy prophecy in order to keep the status quo. So I swallowed all my young as they were born. However, there is rumor that there is still one almighty they call Zeus, Jupiter. But I am Cronus, timekeeper, time teacher, father of time. Long forgotten, I was originally god of agriculture, and so I bear the scythe. For with perseverance, I am the harvest of your success. Discipline, conditions may be discipline conditions me to be serious. For only through concentration can I achieve my ambitions. If you adhere to my limitations and answer the challenge of my lesson, you shall be rewarded with maturity and wisdom. So there's a lot here with Saturn, and Saturn is stern. It's about responsibility, discipline, focus, mastery through hard work, concentration, solitude, being a hermit, routine, separation, losses, yeah, weighing up our losses and gains, isolation, there's boundaries, limitations, rigidity, inhibitions. There's also grief to work through. It's about also about our money, budgeting, our debts, and what else do we have? Anyway, that's quite a lot. Also, yeah, Saturn is more conservative, practical, consistent, inhibited, at times melancholic. So there is quite a lot to Saturn, but I feel the overall energy here is, and Saturn only recently moved into the sign of Aries, which is a whole, it feels like a rebirthing energy, rebirthing into our truth, our beingness, our wholeness as a human being, being connected to the divine and also to our mortality. Saturn reminds us of our mortality, that there is, yes, we're in this physical form, there's limitations. And at the same time, Saturn also sets us up for success, long-term success. If we can, yeah, be honest with ourselves, if we can do the hard work. And I feel a lot of us, we've been doing a lot of work on ourselves, and a lot has, yeah, has been put into motion. And now that we have Neptune just went retrograde last week, and Saturn is going stationing to go retrograde tomorrow. So there is a standing still point. And I feel that is really prominent with a planet with Saturn ruling the sense of time, the the linearity. So it's a really great time also this full moon to reflect, to come to a still point while the energies are speeding up, and there is a lot happening in the background, and it feels like it's a bit of a race at the moment. The challenge is to slow down, and less is more, and we will get to where we need to be, and there is no, it's not a race. So this is really big energies right now. And as Saturn is going on to his journey for the next 4 or 5 months until the end of November, to recap, to revisit, to look at, yeah, and it doesn't mean that we are going inwards and we stop doing anything outwards in the world. It's rather the opposite. Yes, we are engaging with the outer world, and simultaneously we're also becoming more clear about ourselves, about our responsibilities, the beauty of self-responsibility, and also that our doing has consequences. And it's also with Saturn is the elder. It's a reverence to life itself, to nature. Saturn is the archetype ruling over agriculture. So there's a deep connection with nature, with harvesting. And really this is a harvesting of our inner world, of our inner jewels, that is so profoundly taking us forward. And so we have now all the outer planets are almost all the outer planets are retrograding with Pluto, Neptune, Saturn. Chiron is about to go retrograde soon. And of course, we have the Mercury stationing to go retrograde on the 20th. Oh, actually, no, on the 19th. So stationing 17th, 18th, 19th of July, going retrograde until the 12th of August. So again, we are reflecting, we are going inwards in the sign of the heart. So we have a lot of fire here that is reflective. We are tuning into the fire within. We're gathering around our own hearth, our inner flame. So this is really profound, because I feel also as we are doing that inner work, we are going to meet the world in a different way, of, yeah, of a deeper honesty, a deeper sense of equality. Also, the beauty, Saturn and Neptune are in a very benevolent sextile aspect to Pluto. So there's deep transformation. There is, yeah, we're letting go of any kind of a negative ego or structures of anything that's out of balance. So that's also, yeah, there's a lot might come up for us. Okay, which structures are no longer working for me? Where do I feel change is important to me? May it be lifestyle, diet, health wise, work wise, connections, relationships. Where do I need to look after myself more to bring in that wholeness and that sense of self that Saturn and Neptune and Pluto together transforming and rebirthing ourselves? So today's beautiful, this big lunation, full moon in Capricorn, also in a benevolent aspect to Mars in Virgo, a trine to Mars in Virgo. So that's really beautiful as well. So it's really the energies are moving us forward, and there is precision, eye for detail, there is practicality. So we're looking at everything earthy. And yeah, Earth is the material plane, and how nature's principles are deeply, innately manifested within us. So we're working deeply with the rhythms, the cycles of nature that are opening up for us. There is also a very benevolent trine to the South Node in Virgo today, which is about the letting go, discerning what's right, letting go of any also of rigidity. Saturn is the sign where we can get rigid, where we get arthritic conditions, stiffness in our joints, bones that are tightening, that are drying out because we are focusing too much on the outcome, what we want, what we think it should look like based upon the past. But where we are now, we can no longer base anything on the past. I feel even with planetary cycles, as planets come back to their natural position, or even if we look back at Jupiter 12 years ago, yes, in Cancer, but then we are rebirthing ourselves newly every single day. The energies are shifting, and we only always have the here and now, and nothing will repeat itself as based upon past history. So there is a lot of that to work through for us, especially with Saturn retrograde, that we are saying we don't want to go back into the past. It's good to acknowledge woundings, hurts from the past, and our parental fuck ups, and everything that we're still holding deeply inside, and the conditioning, but we're no longer blaming, we are no longer focusing on what happened then, because we're here now, and the past made us into who we are now, and we have a choice in every moment. So this is really an act of self-responsibility, as well as a deep spiritual longing for the divine. So yeah, happy full moon, everyone. I really felt like I wanted to share, because yeah, in my weekly podcast, I sort of ignored this profound lunation, which will take us deeply into our subconscious and move us further and further. And I feel so much, yes, so many opportunities and possibilities are coming our way. And we are the magician that Mercury in Leo is showing us, the magician of our own heart space and being guided. What makes my heart sing? On that note, wishing you a beautiful full moon and lots of love. And thanks so much for listening. Bye for now.